All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're dissecting a really toxic relational dynamic, one that's designed to leave you feeling confused and, frankly, powerless. But more importantly, we are laying out the biological protocol to make you permanently immune to it. This is all about reclaiming your sovereignty, your absolute, undeniable authority over your own life and your own energy. So let's just start with a hard truth. If you're stuck in this loop of mixed signals, getting just enough attention to keep you hooked, but never enough to actually feel secure, you aren't in some complicated romance. You're being played. There's a name for this. It's called seagulling, and it's named that for a reason. Think about how seagulls act. They swoop in, they grab what they want, and even if they're not hungry, they make damn sure no one else can have it. In your life, this is that person who keeps you on a shelf, not because they want you, but because they don't want anyone else to have you. And that's the whole point. The goal of a seagull is to get all the benefits of your presence, your validation, your energy, all while giving absolutely nothing of substance back. It's a totally one-sided game designed to feed their ego right at your expense. Now here's where things get really interesting. Because the problem, it isn't actually the seagull. They are just a symptom. The real problem is the environment they've been able to land in. It's about a much deeper issue inside your own world. Let me be completely direct. When your life doesn't have a defined system, when it's just chaotic and disorganized, you become a landing pad for this kind of toxic energy. You see, you're not being chosen, you're being managed. You are leaking personal authority, broadcasting this disorganized aura that emotional scavengers can spot from a mile away. And please, don't mistake this for a lack of willpower. This has nothing to do with willpower. This is about biology. There's this concept called frame control, and it's all about consciously commanding your personal space, your habits, your time. If you don't set that frame, the world sets it for you. And your emotions, they just become a product of your chaotic surroundings. You see, emotional scavengers, they aren't drawn to strength. They're drawn to really tangible signs of disorganization. A messy desk, no real morning routine, zero digital boundaries. These aren't just bad habits. No, they are vulnerability markers. They are broadcasting to the world that you are available for manipulation because your life has no clear leader. All that chaos on the outside, it's just a direct reflection of your internal biological state. When your environment is out of your control, your nervous system becomes dysregulated. You end up living in a constant state of low-grade stress, which makes your reactions predictable. And that makes you predictable prey. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates what's happening inside you. So, according to Polyvagal theory, your body is always moving up and down this ladder. At the very top, you're in a state of safety and connection. In the middle, you're in that fight-or-flight mode. And down at the bottom, that's where you're immobilized, collapsed, shut down. Seagulls hunt for people who are stuck on those bottom rungs. So this brings us to a really crucial distinction. You are either in a regulated state where you feel in control, or you are in a dysregulated state of reaction and collapse. One is the state of a sovereign individual. The other is the state of a placeholder in someone else's life. There is no middle ground. And that's why you can't fix a deep biological problem with some clever psychological trick. Sending a witty text message or using some dating template you found online, it's not gonna work. Why? Because it doesn't address the root cause, which is the disorganized system that made you a target to begin with. You have to rebuild from the ground up. Let me say that again. You fix this with a fundamental reset. This requires a mandatory, non-negotiable protocol. This isn't about collecting a few tips or getting some dating advice. This is about installing a completely new operating system for your life. The personal reset system is that protocol. It's designed to methodically rebuild your internal and your external world over the course of 30 days. And the goal? The goal is to make your personal aura so bright and so orderly that toxic scavengers simply can't stand the light. And this daily rhythm right here is the engine of your transformation. Every step is engineered to build on the last one, creating a state of high regulation that is just impenetrable to manipulation. The morning action sets your frame for the day, the core exercise forges your new identity, and the evening steps lock it all in. And here's the ultimate outcome. By installing this operating system, you literally cease to be a viable target. Your energy is no longer up for grabs. You become too organized, too focused, and too in command of your own frame to be anyone's placeholder. And look, this isn't about just gritting your teeth and getting through a 30-day challenge. It's about forging a new sovereign identity. The protocol is the process, but the real prize, is the person you become on day 31, and for every single day after that. This right here, this shows the shift you're about to make. You're going from reacting to life to designing it, from leaking authority to controlling your frame. You're going to move from being a passive object in someone else's story to being the powerful author of your own. Remember this, you are a force of nature. But a force of nature without a system is just a storm that destroys itself. You were never ever meant to be a trophy on a shelf, only picked up when someone else is bored. It's time to stop the chaos. So the choice is yours. Will you stay a placeholder or will you reclaim your sovereignty? The world is waiting for the version of you that doesn't need anyone else's permission to be powerful. It's time to act like the leader of your own life. Start the reset.